Hey guys, C. Brown. Today we're going to be doing volume of a pyramid.
That is a good voice for me. Sounds good.
Check out the description for our gift card giveaway. No.
Justin Reed is going to buy it for everyone.
Anyway.
Okay, so this is 12-5. Notice what's going on. So on the 12-4 assignment, a lot of people were freaking out because some of these shapes look all wonky and crazy. Whoa, they do here as well. So this formula works even when the shapes look weird. So don't freak out. If there's a weird shape, it's okay. That's still a pyramid. This is still a cone. Got it?
Wow.
Yeah, we do. We got it.
Amazing.
All right. So this is the formula we need for a pyramid, and then this is the formula we need for a cone. That's it. Volume, so much easier than surface area. It is, it is. So we did volume of prisms and cylinders last time, so these are just the other two shapes. Honestly, we could probably do this all in one day, but we didn't. So, all right. This is a pyramid. So that's nice. You know how this relates to real life?
Nope.
There's pyramids in Egypt. That's right. So we've got to first figure out what is the base. So this thing down here is the base. So when we're finding our capital B is the only thing that changes. It's going to be the area of the base, but, you know, sometimes they're different shapes. Sometimes it is a triangle, square, rectangle, trapezoid, any kind of crazy shapes. In this case, it's a triangle. So we're going to do base times height divided by 2. We just have to make sure we put the right numbers in. So the only things that deal with our base are the 4 and the 6. I see a lot of people trying to put that 9 in this formula, but it has nothing to do with the base. That is the height of the pyramid. So, you made it! Welcome. So the base is 6, the height is 4. So 6 times 4 divided by 2. What? Okay. Alright, so that is our capital B, and then our H is this 9, because so the difference between volume and surface area, so surface area was slant height, volume is the actual height, so from the center of the base to the top. Or, the important thing is that it's at a right angle with the base. So if it's like a wonky shape like this, you see, up here, it's still at a right angle with the base. Okay, so that's what's important. Alright, volume equals 1/3. No, I can't see that. Why would I do that? The area of the base is 12. The height is 9. So I think that's 36. Centimeters cubed. So just remember what volume is. It's centimeters cubed because it's, 36 little cubic centimeters. Yeah, surface area is hard. Like, I think that quiz we took last time is way harder than the test. Because the test is half volume, and volume is easy. So, that quiz I honestly think is the hardest thing in the whole chapter. Oh, about to sneeze. It's going away. Alright. It went away. So volume equals 1/3. Area of the base times height. Notice, well, y'all probably don't remember, but the only difference between a pyramid and a prism is it's the exact same formula, it's just divided by 3. So, hey girl! So, we need the area of the base, which is super easy because it is a square. So 6 times 6 is 36. Ah, yes. You need to get like one of those long forks or something, that is extendable.
It's really good. It goes all the way to here, and it still sticks out a lot. It's really great, and I forgot to read it.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just using a pencil.
So, we've got 1/3 times 36 times 8. Everybody see where everything comes from. 36 is the area of the base. 8 is the height. Fantastic. So is that 96?
No, that's 96.
Okay. So these are the easy ones, obviously. These are the ones where all you're doing is plugging in numbers. For this one, for this cone, I'm going to go ahead and write out the whole formula.
Very difficult.
It's I don't even know if we can do it. No, we can. So this is actually the same as a pyramid formula, except the pi r squared, instead of writing capital B, just go ahead and write pi r squared because the base is always going to be a circle. Pyramids, you don't know what it is until you look at the shape. Alright, for here, the reason I want to point this out, sometimes you will be given, like, let's say you're given the radius and then you're given the slant height. For volume, you do not need the slant height, so you don't need that 5. But if you're given the radius and you're given the slant height, you've got to use Pythagorean theorem to solve for it. So, yeah, so like this one is already given to us. I just want you to know that you may see some where you have to use Pythagorean theorem. We've done this before. It's not anything new or different. Just make sure you know you are looking for this height, because in surface area, you want this one. In volume, you want the height. So just, you got to figure out a way to remember that. I mean, I think the easiest way to remember it is they have different letters. So L is slant height. So you just have to remember that the L is the weird one, and then the H is the actual height that we're used to. So 1/3 pi times the radius, which is 3 squared. What's that? Is that 12 pi? If I'm wrong, let me know, because it is highly likely. 12 pi, and then in big ideas, I want you to put it in the calculator. I should get one.
I was just going to say,
Yeah, in big ideas, they want it like this. So it's 37.699. So that's how it would want it in big ideas. And we can move on. Alright, next page. So this one is given to us. Now there's no pictures. How sad.
oh gosh.
Oh, I'm supposed to do that. Gosh, that's rough. I'm going to do that again. What? They don't need that. It's too easy. So, slant height 13, radius of 5. But remember, we don't need slant height. We don't need this. Unless we're finding surface area. But we're not. We need this height. So, I would highly suggest you brush up on your triples if you, yeah, it's 5 what? Yeah, 5, 12, 13. Because on the test, there's, oh, not 15. What the heck?
12.
5, 12, 13. There's a lot of triples on the test. And one thing I noticed about last test is people, I guess, thought they knew the triples and then would put like 5, 12, 18 or something. Put something just way off. Remember, you can always use Pythagorean theorem if you're not 100% sure you know the answer. Okay. So now we just use our formula. 1/3 pi r squared h. And that's the volume. Volume is always just area of the base times height. And then when you have a cone or pyramid, you divide it by 3. So it's pretty straightforward. Pi times 5 squared times the height, which is 12. So if you do times 13, you will get it wrong. Okay, Solomon. That's great. Oh, it's 100 pi, right? 100 pi. So 314.16. Hopefully we're feeling pretty good at this.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not too crazy. Volume is easy. The homework will not take nearly as long. I know for the surface area, they could get pretty tedious, but this isn't nearly as long. Ah, yes. All right, now we are working backwards. Okay, there's a few questions like this on the homework. There's questions like this on the test as well. So just make sure you know what's going on. I'm also going to make sure I pull up the key so I don't look like a fool and put the wrong answer down. Pyramid with a square base. So volume 1/3 area of the base times height. That's the formula. So I'll just write that down and then fill in everything I know and then solve for what I don't know. So that's our formula. We are given the volume, 128. So we can plug that in. And then 1/3. Okay, so it's a square. So you have to think about this. So the area of a square is just the two sides squared, right? So if you've got a square and it's 5 and 5, you just multiply those together. So I'm going to put s squared. This is just going to be the side. This is find the side length of the base. So I'm just going to write that as s squared. Don't forget that it is squared, or you'll be in trouble. All right, a couple different ways we can approach this. I'm going to go ahead and take that 6 and divide it by 3. It doesn't matter. You could multiply this side by 3 and then divide this side by 6, and it'd be the same idea. But I think it's easier just to do 6 divided by 3. So you get 2s squared. And then you divide by 2 on both sides. So really all we're trying to do is make this s all by itself. So there we go. Take the square root of both sides. This side is going to be 8. Okay, I went kind of fast there, but make sure you have that down. That's the whole idea. You write down the formula, you plug in everything you know, there's only going to be one thing left to solve for, and then that's your answer. So it's just working backwards. It's a lot easier with volume because there's a lot less moving parts. There's no addition signs. That's what made it kind of crazy for surface area. But, yeah. Hopefully we are getting the idea. So this is a pyramid with a rectangular base, so volume equals 1/3 area of the base times height. For a rectangle, I'm going to go ahead and write everything in, and then I'll keep talking. The volume is 6 cubic feet. It says the length of the rectangular base is 3. So if we are finding, a rectangle, it's going to be base times height or length times width. But pretty much what we are looking for is 3 times whatever the width of the base is. So what? Can you see? Oh, I'm a fool. We're looking for the height. I can't read. So then we just write 8, so that's easy. Thank you. 1.5? That says 0.5. 1.5, but it's just as hard to see. There we go. Now that's a dot. So 3 times 1.5. So really just read the question and try to, if I would have just read it before I tried to explain it, it would have made a lot more sense. But I didn't. So we've got a 1/3 and a 3, so that's super nice. Those can just cancel out. And then you've got 6 equals 1.5 times h. Make sure we are dividing by 1.5. Some people get crazy and like to just forget what to do and subtract or do something like that. Don't do that. And you do 6 divided by 1.5 and you get 4. Okay, I want y'all to try number 7. So this is the formula. It's the same idea, pi r squared h. So try plugging everything in. Pause the video. If I could find my mouse, that would be great.
Did you put pi as well on the
Yeah, go ahead and plug in pi. Where is my mouse? Do y'all see it on the screen?
Yeah, I saw it. I just saw
Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is what I have going on. Yeah. Plugged in the radius. That's what we plugged in, isn't it? Yeah. And then I did 36 divided by 3 is 12, so that's where that 12 came from. You don't necessarily have to. Let's see.
Thank you.
So you don't have to do it in the exact same steps that I did it, as long as you're getting that answer. But one thing I want to point out in these calculators, something that's easy to do, if you just type in 528 divided by 12 pi, this is what happens. So I don't want y'all to do that and then think, oh, it's 138, we're done. You know, just, yeah, make sure you look and see what's going on. This is a big difference between that and that. Because what this is 528 divided by 12 and then times pi. It's gone. So, it's different. Don't do that on the test or quiz or whatnot. Yeah, and I don't want that because you did everything right. You just put it in the calculator wrong. So don't do that. It depends on when it is. If it's in the multiple choice part, no. No.
So how would you put it in? How would you do it?
You just take parentheses and put it around 12 pi. Or you can do it separately. If you are like, oh, I don't know, I think I'll get it wrong. You can always do 528 divided by 12 and then take that number and divide it by pi. That would be the same thing. Or put 12 pi in parentheses.
Or 528.
Sounds fancy. Look at you. A little fancy calculator. Alright, find the volume of the composite solid. This one's easy. Volume of composite solids is a lot easier than surface area because you don't have to figure out what's covered up. You just have to figure out, hey, what two shapes do we have? And then add them together. So, we have two cones. So the volume of cone 1 is 1/3 base times height. Well, the base is pi r squared, so I'm going to change that. 1/3 pi r squared times the height. And then volume of the second one, and then you add them together. That's okay. I'm going to move it. So, trying to think of ways that this could be more difficult. It's possible, like, hey, what if they give us, you know, they just tell us that that is 16, and then they could, I don't know, like, give us the slant height. If they did that, if they, you know, told us that that was 16 and gave us the slant height, we could use Pythagorean theorem with the radius to solve for these heights. Okay? So that's one way that they can make it different or more difficult. This one gives you everything you need. But just remember, if you don't have what you need, you're probably going to use Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So if you're ever confused, that's the way your brain should go. E equals 1/3 pi. The radius is going to be the same on both of these. The only thing that changes is the height. So 7 squared, I'm going to do the top one first. So this is the top. This is the bottom. The height's 6. That's easy. And then we can just put that in the calculator. $307.88. We're going to add that to times 7 squared times 10. Oh gosh. This one. Gotta make sure I'm doing this right. I think it's right. But I may be putting the wrong answers. Y'all know me. All the answers are wrong. No, they're not. For those of you watching the video, they're all right. Ah, crap. Plus, when we add them together, we get 821. Oh, It's just 0.00, so just 821 would be the answer. How fancy! Look at us! Finishing the notes so quick. Alright. It was fun while it lasted, YouTube. Signing off. Solomon, where you at?